Welcome to TLC, Total Language Comprehension, training on how to prepare to interpret a sermon. I have a form that I will be sending you, or have already sent you. There is a sheet of things to consider prior to interpreting church sermons. First section is first contact. When you are asked to interpret a sermon, what do? What do you ask for? You want to ask them for, of course, the service time, how long it will be. That will let you know if you're going to require a team. Ask about the address, where it is, especially if it's a large event or holiday like Easter, Christmas, any holiday, or confirmation classes, confirmation celebration. You're going to ask about parking. You may have to insist on having close parking because often the parking area is crowded and they may have to have a bus shuttle service. Also want to ask them if it's their first experience with interpreters. If so, that will require more teaching. Everything that you say, I will interpret. Everything that the deaf individuals do, you're not going to voice because they're just a part of the congregation. You need to be near the speaker, the pastor, the lay reader, whoever. You need to ask if there is a specific area that's already been established, or if not, if it's their first time, you may need to actually go in ahead of time and help them to determine the best placement for the deaf people. You'll have to let them know you're going to require a chair. Also, a music stand is very, very helpful. Also, ask if they have an FM system that you can put into your ears and hear, because church buildings, some of them are very tall, beautiful ceilings, but the sound carries and it's impossible to hear well. So an FM system will help greatly. You will want to have them send you a copy of the bulletin. You will want to send songs with which verses will be sung. Often you can do that with a picture from their book. If you're going to be interpreting that church for a long time, I would ask that you request bringing home a hymnal so that you can see exactly for yourself and research there instead of having to have them take a picture of it. You're also going to want to know if there's any special events. Will there be a baptism? Will there be a special choir song? If yes, you want those lyrics because, again, it can be very difficult to hear and comprehend the words that the choir is singing, those high voices bouncing off of the walls in those huge, beautiful cathedrals. You want to ask if there's going to be any special presentations. Do they have visitors? Will there be a children's sermon? Any kind of other special event going on so that you are less surprised as much as possible. You'll also want to know who is the contact person on site so that if you have any issues, that you can have someone that will help you. You also want to make sure that you ask for payment. This is a touchy situation because often many people feel, oh, this is my tithe, my gift back to the church. Perhaps it's the same denomination as you. Perhaps you feel it's not right to charge a church. If you are not able to be there for that day and you have to leave, who's going to replace you, and are they comfortable with volunteering their time? Or will it be harder to find a replacement? You will get sick, you will have a conflict, you will get a flat tire, you will have all these things. So you want to make sure that you are charging for your service and I suggest the full rate, perhaps a flat fee, but make it reasonable enough that if you need replaced, the other interpreter is more willing to accept that assignment. If you feel still that you don't want to charge the church, go ahead, send them an invoice, and then you can put on there that it's already paid off, or that it's your waived fee, or for complete IRS protection appropriateness, you will want to go ahead and send them the invoice, have them pay you, and then you write a check as a donation back to them. That way you are feeling good, and you don't have to worry that, no surprise, yeah, I've been volunteering all this time, but now I can't make it. I've got vacation, I've got family events, whatever, and I need a replacement. They're not shocked that now all of a sudden they have to pay. And something happens when you're a volunteer interpreter. It changes the dynamics. It shouldn't, but it does. Especially if you're volunteering for a long time, every week, it will affect your ethics, to be honest. I've experienced that. Maybe not for you, but for many of us, when we say volunteer, it's like if somebody asks you to volunteer your time. Unless it's a really heartfelt, meaningful thing, you feel differently, don't you? Whereas if I say, oh yes, it's full pay, then you're more motivated to be involved. Sad but true.